All right. I think I am live. Hello, Zen Friends. Welcome to a special Sunday afternoon session where I come back on to finish everything that I did not complete in this morning session. Completed all donations this morning, and I didn't get to any free readings. So I'm going to complete those in this session. I think I have like 15 free readings to complete. So we will get through those. After I'm done, I will have a pinned comment listing the readings and the timestamp. So if you're coming back in, you can just click on the timestamp. It'll take you right to your reading. There's no chat in this session because I'm not taking any new requests. This is just finishing up the ones from this morning. If you check out the description box of the video, you'll see my personal readings are on sale, the 15-minute and 30-minute, if you want to take advantage of that. There's also a drawing listed if you want to get into the drawing for on October 21st, which is the new moon in Libra. If you're interested in possibly winning a personal recorded reading or one of my hedges of peace and love, check out that video down in the description box. It tells you how to enter that. What else? Well, and otherwise I'll be back Thursday. I'm on Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights from 6 to 9 p.m. Mountain, and then Saturday and Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain time. Then I come back on Sundays if I don't finish things in the morning, which happened today. So that's why I'm back. I'm back. I think that's everything. So I'm going to continue to use the Santa Muerta Tarot. Beautiful deck here. Here we go. Interested in picking this up. That's what it looks like. And we'll use the Learning Tarot for any kind of when questions. We have this one as well. I like that because they have all this information on here for people learning tarot, but I like to use them because it has all the time periods on them, especially. So, blah, blah, blah. All right. So we will dive in. And of course, we start off here with June. Thank you so much, June, for your patience and getting to your reading. I know it was last night. And so thank you for your grace. I appreciate that. And I see you clarified today that you really would like to focus on the energy of AGX, energy towards AKP for yesterday, and then for overall. And you'd originally asked, what are AGX's thoughts and feelings about AKP? Not a love reading. These are two females that know each other. Okay. All right. So let's dive in here. The energy of AGX towards AKP. We'll look at that for yesterday. Okay. That one. And then for overall. All right. So the energy for yesterday, we do have the Fool card here, which is more of an adventure energy, no expectations, more of possibilities, and more of a fresh start energy than other energies. It is a bit childlike, not childish, No, it's childlike, more of a curiosity, more of exploration, wanting to know something more, um, kind of energy. So, like you said, it's not romantic or anything. It's just curious. It's just kind of open, want to understand more. Not a lot of expectations in the mind, though, just more of like a curiosity. I want to understand who they are, what's going on, kind of thing. Um, Overall energies, we got the Eight of Wands. Yeah, there is a lot of this movement energy, fire energy here. I don't know. It feels as if AGX might be very intuitive because this Eight of Wands are like messages from spirit, and they get all this connection energy with them here. You know, the Full card is also one of my cards that represents reincarnation or past life or other life energy. And especially with this combo, I feel like there is a lot of past life draw connection where there's this familiarity. I don't feel like there's a comfortability necessarily, but there's a familiarity. And this comfortability isn't there. Normally, when we meet someone, well, it depends on the past lives we've had because we get all those emotions from past lives that can exist, especially nowadays. Last year, we got 1% more of as humanity access to our subconscious, and which is one of the gateways or tunnels or pathways to the Akashic records. This year, we get like 1% more every month. It's a huge year of transformation. So a lot of people are sensing emotions that they don't understand. Why am I feeling this way of towards someone else or anything like that? Um, so we get all these floods of all this energy. So comfortability comes in when we've had these relationships from the past that were bonding. We might have been having a lot of conflicting relationships, wonderful mirrors, right? Doesn't mean that we were evil. It just means, our higher selves. We were like, these lifetimes, we are these individuals that bring the conflict to each other's faces as these mirrors to transform and change. And that's where I kind of feel like there's a lot of this energy that's there between them overall. Tomorrow felt I mean, tomorrow tomorrow, which is yesterday, there is no time. Time isn't linear. Yesterday's energy, it does feel with this full card, like an awareness of like, what am I'm curious. This is intriguing that I'm getting all these emotions, all these different type of emotions that feels familiar, but um, but it's not a comfortability. Feels more. What is this energy? It feels like there's conflict from the past lives, but the Eight of Wands is a flow energy. It's like this lifetime isn't meant to be conflicting, it's meant to be releasing, um, and just being around each other in a non conflicting, non combative way is a way that things are transforming to. Interesting. So hopefully that resonates. That's what I feel is coming through right now as far as important energies. All right. So thank you again, June. Many blessings to you. All right. And then Eagle, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Oops, I keep on wanting to cut and paste. I don't have a chat in this one. All right. So a general for the upcoming week. Let's see what we got here for you, Eagle. What else in this one? You do have the Hanged Man and the Five of Cups. Yeah, this week feels a bit of a uh, pausing period here, a bit of I don't know, what would you call this? It's stepping back, pocketing because I'm still around people, but I feel like I have a force field, a pocket around me. Because this Five of Cups, energy is about it's about emotion. It looks like the maze of the mind, but the Five of Cups is a transformational energy of changing my emotions. I'm wanting to transform my emotions. And so it does feel like I'm coming back, I'm putting up a bubble, understanding that there's a lot of other people going through emotions and things going on, conflict, emotional conflict going on around me. But this is a week of I don't want to be a part of this. I don't need to be a part of this. I can step back and let everyone else figure everything out. I'm going to focus on my individual relationships with people, and I'm going to focus on what emotions I want to feel because no one can make us feel anything. We can make it easier or harder for people to choose lower vibration or higher vibration emotions, but ultimately they're the ones that are going to decide. No matter what people are doing in the outside world, I ultimately decide how I feel. And I feel like that's an important week to realize that and kind of just step back, let everyone else figure everything out, focus on individual relationships with people, not trying to make things better between people or concerning ourselves with the drama that's going on between other people. It's really a pocketed kind of cocooning, stepping back energy while you're out and about with other people. You can still be there, but you don't have to be there emotionally. Yay. All right. That's what they have for you, Eagle. Hopefully that helps. All right. Many blessings. And Ateshi Singh, you are up. You want to know what will happen externally by this Diwali on October 20th, 21st. Well, happy early Diwali to you. When I used to work at Progressive Automobile Insurance, and we had, I worked in IT. We had a lot of individuals from India there, and they actually had a Diwali celebration every year. It was beautiful. They did dancing and they dressed in all of their cultural clothing and everything else, and they served food and all that. It was beautiful. I loved getting to know the Indian culture. It was beautiful. Anyway, let's focus back on you. What will happen externally by this Diwali for you? So what's going to happen here with that? All right. All right, very good. There are some changes, some sudden changes of plans with the Tower card here and the Knight of Swords, which brings clarity. And it is movement, um, movement of thought and belief and seeing things differently. I like it for you because it's always the Tower card, even though it's like, oh gosh, something changed. It's always for us. It's never happening to us. It never takes us, it never downgrades our life. When things happen in our life, it's always for our growth, always for our upgrade. So I do feel like there is a someone suddenly isn't going, or or there's sudden changes of plans. And with this Knight of Swords, this is an opportunity for you to see things differently. Instead of going, oh no, 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 it's like, you know what? There's a reason for it, and I'm going to trust it. And I'm going to choose instead. I'm going to change and choose my story to be what I want it to be rather than what everyone else is telling me that it should be. So I like that for you. Um, but there's going to be some changes of plans. So just be aware of that. Be heads up. When it happens, go, yep, I was expecting this. I knew it was coming, and it's okay. It's going to be something good. Um, so I like it. So hopefully that helps. That's what they want you to know for right now. So many blessings to you, Ateshi. All right. And then Brenda Globy, you are up. So based on current energies, where and when will KT and AS meet? All right. So let's look here. I'm going to do where here. Yeah, we do where here. And then the when, we're going to use the learning tarot based on current energies when they will meet up here. 2 cards. We'll see what this is about. Where they're going to meet, they're going to meet at a tower. I just put this card back in. It came flying back out. Interesting. But they're going to be meeting at a tower. Usually this is about a sudden change of plans, but it's so funny the way that this is all designed. There's um, it's like when you turn it on its side, there's different stairs. You turn it upside down, there's different, I mean, right side up, you turn it upside down, the stairs. There's all these different stairways leading in different places. It does feel like somewhere with a tower nearby, the Eiffel Tower, before I think they're gonna, in Paris, I think they're gonna take it down. But it does feel like it is, um, a tall building with a lot of stairs that seems to tower. So that's interesting. Let's see the when in here. Wow. There's well, we got the 3 of swords and the 4 of cups. So it feels like here, and the tower makes sense too, that there's a sudden change of plans too. That's why I feel we get 2, because 1 is like it's every 2 to 3 days, and it's like plans are made, but then they need to change. And then the 3 of swords energy here, this is actually September 23rd to October 22nd. So we're in that period right now. So between now and October 22nd, based on current energies, is when they meet. And but I do feel like plans are made and then plans are changed as well. So I like that. Sorry, let me just make sure here. I think yay. Sorry, I had a package coming in and my host grabbed it. So I wanted to make sure that it was there. Oh, very cool. So I like that um, awareness here, but that it's happening now, between now and the 23rd. So I like that. um, yeah, so that's what they have for you, Brenda. So hopefully that helps. Many blessings. All righty. So Mika Khan, you are up. So thank you so much. So I like this awareness here. So, like you said, you're having some really bad dream nightmares. Even though you're trying your best to stay in high vibration, how can you stop having them? That's what you asked last uh, first, and then you wanted to change your question to be more around the correct breathing to reduce nightmare and maintain positive emotions on your whole body. You read somewhere that it's from the nose to the throat to the diaphragm. Is it true, or is this something else? And is it through both nostrils, or right or left only, or what happens here? Well, what's interesting, the energy that I'm getting with your reading here. So let me shuffle cards here. I feel like they want to say some stuff before even cards. So let me see what they're saying here, because the nightmares are a way of your inner child and your spirit team. The dream world is a place for them to communicate to you. So the nightmares are uh, originating from spirit and your inner child trying to bring something to you that's ready to be transformed. So it's not meant to be a nightmare, but it's because it's rooted in fear. The thing that's ready to be transformed, it appears as fear, or your inner child is more or less re-experiencing it in the dream. It's like um, if a little child had a bad day at school and then they're not crying anymore, but when you ask them what happened, they're like, well, this happened. They start reliving it and they're like, "Oh, this happened." You're like, "Oh, it's over, it's done, just tell me what happened." But they have that kind of energy. That's the nightmares, right? So breathing exercises before you go to sleep, and if you wake up in a nightmare, to calm yourself down, that helps with that, because when we go into fight or flight mode, deep breathing helps us calm down and come out of fight or flight mode. Also, calming yourself down before you go to sleep also helps you um, not be in a state of fear. And if you go into sleep relaxing, rather than, I don't want, we'll talk about energy here in a sec. You know, I don't want to have nightmares. I don't want to have nightmares. I don't want to have nightmares. Guess what? When I'm focusing my energy on I don't want nightmares, guess what we get? I get nightmares. It's like whatever you do, don't think of fluffy, cute bunnies. Don't dream of funny, cute bunnies. Don't dream of funny, cute bunnies. You're going to dream of funny, cute bunnies, because your energy is focused on whether it's don't or want or whatever we focus on, we draw more of that energy toward us. So breathing is good, and they don't, spirit is saying there's no absolute way that the same breathing works for everyone. You just find out what works for you, right? For me, it's if I'm feeling stressed, if I do a and then do then another, breathe in deeper, it brings it all in here, and then slow. Hold it for a second, then even just a deep breath in, slow breath out helps calm the heart, helps calm. It's amazing when um I've had high blood pressure in my life, and it's amazing. I have a little, blood pressure thing. And if I'm like, wow, my blood pressure is up because I was running around, And if I sit and I meditate and breathe deeply, it drops like that, and it helps drop our fears, our blood pressure. It helps do that. So breathing is a good practice, but the root of it is down inside. And so instead of focusing in on, I need to get rid of my nightmares, I need to get rid of my nightmares, I need to get rid of my nightmares, because what that does is invite them to stay nightmares. I feel like what the cards will verify too, that if you write down, journal your nightmare, and then let's stop calling it a nightmare. Let's let's call it a growth dream, a release dream, something like that. Instead of a nightmare, we're giving it a story of fear. Let's give it a story of growth and release, right? And so let's write down what the story is that I'm dreaming about. And then as you're getting it there, your brain's able to look at it. And then you can ask your inner child and spirit, what am I trying to release through this dream? Um, what fear am I trying to face? And then um, we can, like before we're going to sleep, we can surround ourselves in a giant ball of light and have gratitude to the creator, that everything that happens in the dream world is for me, and you're going to help me release this energy, um, and that the message will be clear for me, right? And then you just surround yourself in a giant ball of light, and then you can go to sleep trusting that you're not alone in that. You can even invite your spirit guides and angels. Can you guys come with me into the dream world? I just need a little support tonight. And they will, right? Um, I had some nightmares, that repeating nightmares, when I was in my early teens and later, like 8, 9, 10, whatever. But I would dream I was going down these stairs into this basement that they had walls, but they weren't finished. It was just the lumber and the skeleton of it. And there were coffins in each of these rooms. But in the middle by the stairs, there was a coffin. And every dream I'd go down, and I couldn't stop myself from opening the coffin, and this green witch would jump out and spew this green smoke on me, and then I'd wake up scared to death. It was I had so much fear. What happened, and it didn't happen like every night, but it would happen then a few days later, and then a week later. It was like recurring for a month, until one night when I was dreaming, I I got so angry. I was tired of it. I had enough of this. And I went down that stairs, I opened it up, and I beat not that this is a good thing, but I beat the crap out of this witch. Threw her around, beat her up, whatever, threw her back in the coffin and slammed the door down. I never had the dream after that, because and I had other dreams too that had fear around it, and I faced them. When I faced them, then the fear went away. So this is like the fears come up for us to face them, and they come up in this controlled dream world for us to be able to work through these things. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Let's see what else they want you to know here about this dream. Maybe some clarity on what is the growth that's in this growth dream, because it's not a nightmare, right? Let's see what we have here, and anything else they feel you can do to transform it. I feel like all those things will help, though. Yeah, the Three of Wands. There is this change of direction energy that's in here, and the World card. Yeah, this is something about an ending, a fearing of an ending and a new beginning. You're ready to end an old cycle and begin something new. This energy feels around the fear of the unknown, the fear of change that's coming in here, something that is ready to be released, something that's ready to change. I don't want to keep doing the same thing, but in order to break the cycle, you have to face what's the fear that's below the surface. That's what's coming up for you in the dream, so that you can let go of it. So very interesting. And if you have any trouble with, I don't know what I'm supposed to learn from this, whatever, my email address is down in the description box of the video. It's brettazen@gmail.com. If you tell me what the nightmare is about, I can channel spirit and see um, what the what's the story beneath the surface that they're trying to bring forward too. I feel like you're going to get it when you write about it. You're going to be like, oh my god, I know what this is. But if you need any help, let me know. All right. So that's what they have for you, Mika. All right, Techo Love, you are up. So you want to ask Spirit, what should I look for that I'm not aware of about my living situation that I'm in? All right, let's take a look here. Let's see what advice they have here for you. What are you not aware of that can help you with your living situation here? Okay, we got that. What else? And that. All right. Have the Ace of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. Yeah. The core of the troubles is the Five of Pentacles, which is the feelings of lack, the fear of abandonment, being left alone, being left out in the cold, fear of rejection, fear of not having enough, not being enough. And the Ace of Cups, the self love energy. It's all a projection. Everything is. Any relationship we have with any person is a reflection of something about how we feel about ourselves. Here it's talking about the fear of not being enough, not having enough. The Ace of Cups is this pointing us back to our self love, and it's a mirror for us, showing us. So any kind of obstacles or conflicts I have exist in here, not out there, right? We had a great conversation in this morning session um, with Guerrero Means War about I don't want to go to this luncheon because there's these um, I want to say disruptive, difficult, like difficult people, whatever. I forget what the word that was used, but it was like these people that they're just trouble. But the trouble or the difficulty or like let's say I live with a difficult person. Yeah, myself. I live with a difficult person because the difficulty happens in the noodle, the story we apply to what's going on. What happens just is what people do or don't do, say or don't say, just is. There's no meaning to it till it gets into the story maker here. And then we create the story. Oh, they are not supposed to act that way. So now I'm supposed to feel agitated or frustrated or hurt or whatever we feel, right? And that's not just roommates, that's everything in life, right? We all go through this, but we're all taught certain stories about, oh, this is supposed to mean this. And we grow up, all of that stuff. But it's when we take away the judgment of what a situation is or who someone is or what someone's doing or whatever, and we just realize that if their actions um, are not of unconditional love and higher than their fear, and it's a cry out for love. It's not meant towards us. Anything that we think is personal that they are doing to us or toward us is not true. They're expressing who they are. Now, what we, because they're looking in the mirror of us, whatever they're seeing and reacting to, we have nothing to do with. We don't even know why they're doing that. I'm just a mirror. If a monkey looks in it, they see the monkey. They see themselves. If an elephant looks, they see an elephant. If a giraffe, they see a giraffe. We're just a mirror. We don't even know what they're seeing because we're the mirror and we don't see the reflection. We just are whatever we're seeing in the reflection. When I look at them, whatever I'm seeing is about me, something that I can find within myself. So if I'm being like impatient with someone, that means somehow I'm being impatient with myself. If I'm being judgmental of someone else, then I'm being judgmental to myself too. And so it's recognizing whatever I feel is happening out here is happening in here, more accurately, more likely happening in here with a root of happening in our heart. It's the hissing cat, right? That's why I love my cat shirts because when I'm in fear, when my inner child feels unsafe and out of control, my intelligent, loving, compassionate pushed out My little 2-year-old self and its pet hissing cat are in charge. They're the ones making the decisions. They're doing whatever they feel they need to do, no matter how unloving, unkind, and stupid it is. Again, our intelligent mind is gone. Our loving mind is gone. Our compassionate mind is gone. We're a 2-year-old. We're just doing whatever crazy things we feel we need to do to feel safe and in control again. And when we realize that, we can stop taking other people's actions personally and realize this is for me. What is it telling me about myself? I might have already talked about Byron Katie, her name Byron and then Katie. She has a YouTube channel, and then her free process she has, which is a judge your neighbor worksheet. It's amazing process. It's for free on her website at thework.com, TheWork.com. And it's a great process where you take a situation, you throw it up on this piece of paper, answering these handful, well, it's like 7 or 8 questions, I think. And there's a process. You go in and you transform your thinking and awareness, and it really helps us get into that reflection energy to understand it. But it's so transformative. It was life changing for me to where when, as soon as I hear myself going, oh, that person, I'm like, oh, okay, here's the 3 fingers pointing back at me. How am I doing this? Like, oh, I can't believe that person wants to be a dictator. How am I being a dictator? Well, one, I'm trying to tell them how they're supposed to live their life. I'm trying to control how the world is supposed to be. That sounds very dictatorish. And we realize, oh, I see how this is all going. I come back to me. Then I can make choices, not out of reaction, but out of who I really am, right? So hopefully that helps touch a love. That is what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. And again, if you have any specific, question or anything, you can reach out to me via email. I just mentioned that to Mika. It's down in the description box of the video. It's brettazen@gmail.com. And you can, even if you just need to vent and go, oh my God, this is what happened about it. What observations does spirit have around this situation? I'm happy to give some viewpoints as well. All right. So many blessings. All right. Swaroop Bobby, you are up. A reading for the next week. All right. What do we got coming in here, Swaroop? Thank you. Whoa, cards are flying everywhere, but these two came flying out. Got the Empress energy. Woohoo. And the Nine of Swords. I like this here because the Nine of Swords is you're getting to this point where you're just tired of trying to live up to other people's expectations. You're almost to the point of exhaustion to where you're like, I'm ready to let all that restriction go. And I'm more in this energy with this Empress of being true to my authentic self. I'm ready to create from my heart, not from the restrictions of my mind. I'm ready for this self nurturing, for this focus on self love and the expression from the heart instead of trying to just, our mind has all these expectations. We start off feeling like we're way below and we spend all this energy just trying to get to zero. Whereas the heart has no expectations, it's just expressive, and everything is abundance. Everything is beautiful expression when it's from the heart. When it's trying to live up to the mind, it's all about debt and trying to catch up to be just acceptable, where everything is abundance when it comes from the heart. So I feel like this next week, the Nine of Swords is this energy of having this, I guess you would say, obstacles or conflicts with the mind, and all coming in to challenge and these thoughts and beliefs and fears we have below the surface that are keeping us small, make themselves known so that we can transform them and release ourselves from them. So they're already running on autopilot below the surface when we're not being conscious of each moment. We go into autopilot when we're unconscious. So, if I'm not consciously choosing, then I'm subconsciously on autopilot choosing things based on these fears, based on these old things that I've had growing up. So the way we become aware of it is in the moment, conscious of it because it's right here. It's like, oh my God, boom, you know. So I like that energy. I'm coming in here for you. It's very freeing of the mind and coming into, the heart there. So I like that. So I feel like that's what they want you to be aware of for this next week. So many blessings to you. All right. And then we have Ankita Moore. Hello, hello. So will Manu contact me himself after I yelled at him for being judgmental? You were judging his judgmentalness, and so you yelled at him? I always love that. I'm angry with angry people. I'm sad about sad people. I'm judgmental of judging people. Oh, what beautiful mirrors these humans are, right? Let me shuffle these up. So, would you contact somebody if they yelled at you for being judgmental? Let's take a look here. We'll see how they are. They might be more of a forgiving person here, but I don't feel four of cups. They're kind of here to themselves here, balancing out their emotions. The seven of wands is being true to their authentic self and, not asking permission to shine, not dimming their light, and not apologizing, being unapologetically themselves. I feel like they're off, going fine. So I don't feel like they will hear this energy of, all right, you yell at me for doing that, and I'm just gonna hang out with myself, or I'm content being over here. I'm just gonna be me over here, is the kind of energy that's coming in. So I feel like before reaching out to them, really look at what was at the core. When we yell, that's a attack, that's a fight in fight or flight. What were you fearing? You know, when you felt that they were being judgmental about you, how were you judging yourself in that moment? And did you get upset because you feel there's some truth to their judgment inside? Is it something you fear? Look at that first, because before you deal with, and if you want to reach out to them, deal with the internal first, because otherwise, you're just going to get triggered by it, right? And you know, because if it's blame, if I contact you and go, you shouldn't have done that, and you need to apologize, that's not going to end up well. When true communication, if we truly want to communicate with someone, if I have a disagreement, what I do is I look at, why was I triggered inside of me? Not why did they trigger me? It's, how was I triggered? What trigger in me went off because of an external thing? Not, doesn't matter where it came from. I was triggered by something, and that means I have a trigger in that. If I'm triggered by someone else's actions or non-actions or words in this case, right? Or not, or silence, that's for me to look at. When I look at it and go, oh wow, I see where the root of this is, and it really had nothing to do with them. This is something echoing from the past. And then when I want to communicate with them, rather than, why did you do this, blah blah blah, and just making the situation even more dramatic, right? I reach out and go, do you have time to talk? And I'd like to talk about what happened. And if they're, yeah, I want to talk to you. And I go, okay, good. And then we get together, or we're on the phone or whatever. And I go, I realize why I reacted the way I did. And I'm so sorry that you had to be on the side of that, but this is what it was. And I'm vulnerable. I go, I realized that this was an echo of something that happened, you know, earlier in my life or in my childhood. And this is what happened. And this is why this is a trigger for me. And so I'm glad I have the awareness now, and I'm working on that. So thank you, so please forgive me. Da, da, da. And then they're like, what the hell just happened? Because usually people are like, why did you do this to me? And, but when we really want to communicate, then we really get to the root of, why did I react the way I did? I take ownership for my actions and reactions. And I don't expect them to, okay, now you tell me, why did you act so stupid? That doesn't go over well either. Trust me, that's words of experience. But hopefully that helps. So I don't feel like they're in a place where they'll reach out right now based on current energies. That could change over time as their jets cool a bit more, but something to consider. So hopefully that helps, Ankita. That's what they have for you. So many blessings to you. All right, Livier Vagara, you're up. Any suggestions what I need to change or do to improve where I need to go? All right, let's take a look here. Any advice from Spirit on what can make your path smoother um, with where you need to go? All right. So you got the Seven of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. Well, yeah, we have this energy here. The Seven of Pentacles is about trusting the time. It's the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. It is the path changes, the path, slowly goes, and we'll get there eventually. It takes time for the little seed to hatch and for it to grow and to grow into branches and to, you know, have leaves and then, um, blossoms and then fruit, right? It takes time. But the Queen of Hearts, she's like, it's follow your heart, what to change to improve where you need to go. One is, and it's not really being patient, it's trust the process. It's surrender the need, the want, the drive that I need, surrender the expectations, the thoughts, and the follow the heart, the intuition, the gut. Where's your heart leading you? Where's your gut leading you? Instead of the mind with all its rules and all these plans, it's where am I going? Where does it want to take me? Kind of energy that comes in here. So I do like that um, approach because it gets us out of the fear of the must and I must go here, I must do this, I must go there, I must accomplish this. And it allows us to get more in tune with where our heart wants to lead us in our lives. So we close our eyes, we open our heart, and we try to get out of our head and if it feels like work or it feels like pressure, that's of the mind and of human expectation, not of the heart. When it's of the heart, it feels freeing, it feels joyful, it feels that instead of what if not, what if this, right? So hopefully that helps. I feel like that is anything we can do, any practice you have to step into your heart, creating things, doing something creative puts us in tune with our heart, our high mind instead of our human task energy, helps us get into that. So sometimes that can help too. But anything that helps you get into your heart that you know of that you have done in the past that's helped that will be helpful. But also, even Google, I always say, whenever I'm wondering, Google AI now. It's just like things I can do to connect to my heart and creativity. It just gives you all sorts of stuff. You look what resonates. I'm going to try that because my heart got excited when I read that. If it feels like, that means that's the mind. When I'm excited, that means it's of the heart, usually, right? So hopefully that helps, my dear. That's what they have. So many blessings to you, right? Cat Goddess, you are up. What messages do your spirit guides or even the other side of things have for you in general? All right, let's see. What do they have for you, Cat Goddess? Look, we're a cat today. What do your spirit guides have for you, Cat Goddess? All right. I feel like I want to move these and I want this one and this one. All right. Very particular, this person is that's coming through. Yeah. And I understand this person. The person that's coming from the other side, this is someone you've known in this lifetime that's gone to the other side. You have the devil card and the 7 of wands. This is energy, and this is a quirky person too, because it's someone that was they like things a certain way, their way, but don't tell me what to do. right? The Seven of Wands is an energy of I'm going to be me. I'm going to be unapologetically me, and the this long held thoughts and beliefs and everything else, screw all that. This is what they would say, screw that. I'm going to be me, and I'm going to be true to me. Um but this is the way things are supposed to be. They were kind of set in some ways, but they also were a rebel, and that's the quirkiness, is that they were almost like a, whatever that's called, where it's two things in one, two opposing forces in one, right? Chaos. I don't know. But they're basically bringing that same message to you, is, because they're more than that now, but they're coming as this character that they played in this lifetime here. And they're like, be true to yourself, screw the rules, don't apologize, don't shrink, don't ask permission to shine, shine bright, let all of those opinions fall away, and be true to you. Be true to you. I feel like they talk like that. Be true to you, boo. Very expressive, um, very quirky. Like I said, very quirky and unique, called weird and strange by a lot of people, and they didn't give a rat's bohiney at all. I like that. So I feel like that's this person's coming through. I do feel like there's an important date coming up regarding them, either their birth or anniversary of their death, or some important date around this person too. I feel like it's coming up too. That's why they're like, I'm coming through to let you know. Be true to you, boo. That's your that's their affirmation they want you to have. Start saying this once a day at least. Be true to you, boo. All right. So that's what they have for you, Cat Goddess. So many blessings to you. All right. They're so hilarious. All right. Maria P., you are up. Thank you for your donation earlier. And you'd like a general for you and Walter. All right. What does Spirit want you to know here? Got this one and this one. Yep. So you have the Three of Wands, and this is the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, the Three of Wands is with new information. There is a bit of a change of direction on what you guys thought you were going to do and head here. The Six of Pentacles, there's this bit of giving and receiving energy, even that I want to do this with that little in between, how it goes back and forth. This giving and receiving back and forth. And it's an interesting energy, because it feels like your relationship that you guys are having is, it's not like it's going in reverse. It's just, you thought it was going this way, they thought it was going this way, but it's going to go this way. And there's this, you want it this way, they want it this way, and there's something more in between, that's unfolding here. The give and take of a relationship is important. It doesn't have to be all my way. What do you want? What do you want? Um, and there's this communication, and that's new. I feel like, guys, you talk a lot about your lives and what you want, but I don't know how much you guys talk about what each other wants, and asking, what would you like? Because we're assuming everyone thinks the same as we do, but we don't. We all have different upbringings, different viewpoints, different perceptions. And I feel like with this back and forth that you guys do alter your course into something that's more middle, instead of trying to pull one person in one direction and the other. Interesting. So I think that's what they have for you right now, Maria. Take a sip here. So many blessings to you. Interesting. All right. Carmel Desmond, you are up. Anything coming your way in romantic love? And when is romantic love coming your way? Oh, cool. We'll pull from the Learning Tarot here and see, because they have timing on here. And we'll get the what and the when in one card here. Is there romantic love? I had a feeling, I was like, if you get something like the Knight of Cups, which is the knight in shining armor, the movement of romance. Yes, the timing, you got February 19th to March 20th, which is actually Pisces season. Um, So I feel like the that's when the romance is coming your way. That's when the um the romance occurs. It starts to occur during that period. Let's see here. I'm going to ask a quick question. Do you know this person already? Okay. Do you know this person already? If not, when do you meet them? Okay. Do you know this person already? If not, when did you meet them? And if you do, when did you meet them? Okay. I like these learning tarot. You have the Empress energy. Um, I feel like because the Empress is about harvest. So this is somebody you've already met before, back from April 21st to May 21st of this year. So it's someone that you've already met, um, and you already know them, but I feel like it's a slow movement, a slow getting to know them. Um, and then the romance starts in it's funny. What about Valentine's Day, February 14th? No, let's start after, because then, maybe February 19th is when you celebrate Valentine's Day. But I feel like there is sensuality, there is emotional connection there. um there's something about them. You met them, but they're away for a little bit and they're coming back in here soon. So whoever this was that you met that had to go away, I don't know if they had to go overseas or do something for their job, but it feels like they had to temporarily go somewhere, and they'll be back here. I feel like in November-ish, maybe until the beginning of December, but it's somewhere between the end of the year is when they come back. They come back in. So interesting. Hopefully that resonates for you, Carmel. That's what's coming in right now. So many blessings. Right. And then Happy Peel, you are up. Angel messages and blessings. Let's see what they have here for you. Okay. Here we go. Boom, boom. Right in my hands. So we got the Hanged Man and the Ace of Swords. Yeah, you have this little bit of transformation and pocketing away energy here with the Hanged Man, which is about seeing things from a higher perspective. And then the Ace of Swords is the same thing, really. It's about higher knowledge, giving you access to see things from a place of unconditional love, from a place of spiritual knowledge, from spirit's point of view. That helps you transform and release things that no longer serve you mindset wise and belief wise. Here, small teachers that were rooted in fear, letting those things go because they don't serve you anymore. So there is this transformative energy, but I do feel like there's a bit of pulling back energy here and allowing you to see things differently. You're being pulled back. Pausing energy is coming in strong here as well. I feel like there's a significant ending. This number 12, the XII. The II feels like a pause button. You know how like in things now there's the pause is the two lines like this and you push it. That's what's coming in there, but the X is an ending. So something has ended and now there's a pause before new beginnings come in, because you're getting this time to reflect right now, to see things differently, so that your vibration is higher, so you don't draw in something like that's just ended, that you'll draw in something at a different level. So trust the pause, I feel, um, is coming in there. The pause, like a little cat pause, right? But pause, trust the pause, in that it's a blessing in disguise, and then that will bring in clarity for you. It's for your best experience for you. It's for an easier experience. They're like, you can keep going around in circles, but it's time to stop getting dizzy, get your grounding, and then you can move forward. You're ready for it. So I feel like that is what's coming in. Right. So many blessings to you, Happy Pill. Hopefully that helps. All right, Melissa Hodzik, you are up. So is there that's right. Is there something wrong with you or something weird happening at the uni you worked at? You suspect workers being controlled and manipulated, including you and your sales results? All right, let's take a look here. Something wrong with you or something wrong with the uni? We'll take a look here, see what we got. Anything wrong going on with you? Queen of Swords, there's nothing wrong with you. I just feel like you're being balanced out here. The Queen of Swords is a balance between the head and the heart, the mind being balanced with the heart. And I feel like um, what is happening is allowing you with that Queen of Swords. She holds the Ace of Swords, which allows you to see things from a higher perspective, a different perspective. And that gives you that ability to face these fears, right? So what's triggering inside of you around this situation? Because that is happening for you to help you have more of a balanced experience in life. And how we do that is we these um, small t truths rooted in fear below the surface that are running on autopilot that are already impacting us, triggering that things happen to us, not to us, we feel like it's happening to us, but they happen for us to show us why we feel it's happening to us. What is this fear? And it gets ignited so that we can see it and be freed from it. And we are able to transform it and go, why is this? Why do I fear that someone is has it out for me? You know, why do I feel like someone is punishing me? Am I punishing myself in some way? Is there some things when I was punished younger when I felt it was unfair that I can transform? You know, what is bubbling below the surface? So I feel like that it's not that something's, you're not broken. You're just learning to burn away the things that are not you. And the things that aren't you are fears. Those things were learned. Um, and when those come up, then you're like, this isn't me. I'm burning this away. And then you're like, that won't bother me anymore because that's not me. That's a something that was thrown on me that's not me. And I'm not taking that anymore. I'm burning away that which is not me. What's any information on what's going on in all that area there? The King of Wands, there is so the King of Wands is like emperor energy. It's someone that has action. But what's interesting, when I got this, I heard too many cooks in the kitchen. And I don't feel like I feel like there's too many people, you know, adding stuff into the mix. And that's why it feels discombobulated and all the stuff feels off because this person doesn't know that this person already put hot chili pepper into the soup or the stew, and this person put more, and then this person comes in and doesn't realize that they're trying to make it hot and they put in something sour, so now it's a hot and sour stew, and then someone else adds something in and you're like, "This is gross. This tastes like caca poo poo." And I feel like that's what's going on. It's more too many people trying to do too many things, too many people trying to be in control, and other people trying to control other people because they're feeling unsafe and out of control. And it's like, you know what? When we try to control things that are outside of our control, we then feel out of control. That's the way that works, right? So release the King of Wands for you too is coming back to you, realizing all I can control are my thoughts, my stories I put to things, right? That's that Queen of Swords questioning those stories. I'm going to create a different story. I don't like the emotional soundtrack that goes with this story of control and manipulation and people impacting my cell results and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Because when I focus on that, fear, what happens to my cells, it gets pushed further away. I draw in what I fear. When I change my story, change my emotions, because I'm the ones that control my emotions, my thoughts, my energy, my actions, then my results change. Everyone else, letting go of controlling everyone else's story, emotions, and everything else, we can't control that. Everyone can only choose for themselves. All I can control and choose for me is me, my thoughts, emotions, energy, and actions. So I feel like this situation is coming up here. Um, the outside world is always something, always weird is happening in the outside world because there's so many. Um, Only if there's weird things happening inside of us do I see weirdness in the outside world, right? Because we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. And then people are reacting, doing all sorts of weird things when they're in fear. We talk about when our inner child feels unsafe and out of control. Our little inner child boots out our intelligent, loving, compassionate side. And then our little 2-year-old and pet hissing cat are in charge. And they do weird things. That's why the world is full of people acting weird. And we're like, oh, or acting stupid, right? Because they're acting like 2-year-olds. And when we're expecting people to act like adults, because they're in adult bodies, but they're in fight or flight mode, they're acting like 2-year-olds, that seems weird. When we understand that people do that when they're in fear or feeling out of control, then we're like, oh, I get why people are acting the way they are, but I can't control that. All I can do is focus on my own stories, my own emotions, my own energies, my own actions, not theirs. So hopefully that helps a little bit, Melissa. That's what they got for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. And then we have Red. Lastly, but not leastly, hello, hello. Nice to see you as well. So, recent conversations have been interesting. So, a tea reading on MNP's 4-hour drive home today from the event. Oh, okay. We'll take a look here. Got to take a sip of the tea for that. It's actually coffee, but we'll pretend it's tea. All right. What do we have here? So, what can we know here? Okay. Of course, free readings are just like 1 to 2 cards, so we can't go too deep into the tea, but we can at least take a sip and go, what did that taste like, this little drive home? What can we know about it? Okay, we got this one here. We got the Magician and the Two of Pentacles. Wow, interesting. The Magician card is a bit of, let's say, flame energy, because look at their hat. There's some tempers there, but the Two of Pentacles, look at, they're so close to each other. They are skeletons of the same, but that's a balanced energy. And it almost feels oddly, it feels like it started off with some heat, with that magician. But then I feel like it kind of just balanced out and got quiet. And I feel like someone's listening to music, someone's reading, someone has earbuds on. It feels like um, a little bit of beep, 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 a little snippetiness in the beginning. But it went to mutual conversation, then into doing their own thing stuff. So it doesn't feel like there was any bodies buried on the way home. No, no dead bodies in the trunk. Nothing like that. Feels oddly calm going on, which Libra season really helps balance things out. It shows us our imbalances, but also helps balance things out. And so there is that kind of energy, and especially with Libra ruling over the house of relationships, the eighth house, it helps bring a bit of calmness to relationships that might otherwise be, out of balance, as well. So it doesn't feel too out of balance. It felt very calm in comparison, especially eventually. Like maybe the first half hour was a bit maybe talking about the conference or whatever they were doing. And then, well, I'm going to listen to this podcast. Okay. Well, I'm going to watch this movie or read this book, you know. So separate worlds, even though they're in the same vehicle for the remainder of the ride. So interesting. But that's all I got, Red. I know. Oh well, it's like going to a movie that was really hyped up, and they're like, "Oh, that's all." No, okay. It was a movie, but I really didn't need to buy popcorn for this one. All right. Well, that's what's coming in right now. So many blessings to you. And that's it for this session, everybody. Like I said, if you haven't checked out my new podcast, there's a link down in the description box, plus a link to a video about a drawing for a free recorded reading, um, or a Hedge of Peace and Love. Um, if you're interested in getting to that drawing, and also my personal readings, my 15-minute and 30-minute are on sale, and more sales to come in November. So be on the lookout. I'll be back on Thursday for more readings. Until then, remember, every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. Of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, much love. Guys, hang in there. Remember, have some fun. Why are we being so serious? This is a world of a playground. Let's go play. All right. All right. I love you. We'll see you soon.